mobility work. We typically do this every single day. Yesterday was the one exception where we did not do side splits and hip mobility at this time. And it seemed like it was received pretty well. So maybe we will do more of that. Maybe we'll do that on Wednesdays, right? But today is not Wednesday. Today is Thursday for most of the audience, if you are US based, which I think the stats tell me is usually the case. And it's time for us to get back into our regular scheduled side splits and hip mobility. All right, that's enough filler. I think it's time to get started before the algorithm stops sending people my way. So let's go ahead and begin. First thing I want you to do is warm up. We warm up together because I have absolutely no idea what you've been doing today, and it seems only reasonable that we warm up together so that we're all on the same page. All right, what I want you to start with is lift your knee up as high as you can directly in front. From here, I want you to lift a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and just try your dang bestest to bring that knee up as high as you can. We're contracting these muscles here in the front of your leg as tight as possible to do that. From here, we're going to open up the hip. We're going to bring the leg out to that side. I want you to try and bring the knee as much pointing directly to the side as you can. I want you to flex your glutes. I want you to flex your hips right here, which is, I'm going to spin around right here to help pull that leg all the way back. If all the spin moves are getting confusing, just focus on bringing your legs as far back in each direction as you can. All right. From here, we're going to rotate the leg. I want you to bring the leg so that the ankle and the knee is about the same height. I want you to lift that whole thing up as high as you can. From here, we're going to keep rotating. We're going to bring the ankle up, the knee down. You're going to feel a contraction in your hamstrings. Maybe they're cramping up. Before they cramp, stop and go ahead and bring that leg back behind you. When you bring the leg back, I want you to flex the hamstrings. I want you to flex the glutes. I want you to feel the stretch right here in the front. That is 1 rep. If that felt like a lot because I talk so dang much, don't worry about it. It'll get faster from here. I'm going to face you so it's easier to mirror. And if anything feels crazy, let me know in the chat because we can fix that at the end when we go into more detail and we chit chat. Cool? Until then, let's finish up these reps. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 1 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7. By the way, yours does not have to look like mine. All right. You might be less flexible. You might be more flexible. You might be stronger. You might be less strong. All those things are going to change up your version of this movement. And that is okay. All we want is for you to try your best so that you get stronger and you get more mobile for you. All right. We're done with one leg. That was 10. I was counting this time. I used my fingers. It was great. We're gonna use that. We're gonna do the other side now. You ready? Shake out your legs, relax them, and let's get ready to go. Hold on to something for balance if you need it, and let's go high knee. High knee some more. Lift that knee open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 1 high knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open. I'm super off balance. Ankle up, down and back. That's 3 high knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 4 high knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 5. By the way, guys, I highly encourage you to focus on doing all of these exercises with us. And I want you to know that I explain a lot of them as we go. But if you're getting a little tired, you need to take a quick break. I also highly encourage you to tap the screen and send me some likes so the algorithm knows to send more people our way, all right? That was 10 reps of the forward hip curls. Now, we're going to take a quick second. We're going to catch our breath, and we're going to get ready to go reverse hip curls, all right? When we go in reverse, I want you to flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, bring that leg back, feel the stretch right here. Lift directly to the side, rotate the knee down, ankle up, rotate the ankle down, the knee up, and bring it forward. It's very, 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 very similar. We just kind of go in a reverse order. Okay? I'm gonna do them facing you, so it's easier to copy me. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 3. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 4. You know how earlier this week, if you're a regular, I was complaining about how tired my legs were? My legs are feeling real good today. I wonder if that's a sign that I should just be taking more gentle mobility days, or if I just slept a lot yesterday. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Whew. If your hip muscles are feeling tired from contracting, from pulling, from trying to stabilize whatever's going on with this leg and trying to lift this leg as high as possible, that is completely normal. All right. That is the strengthening that we're trying to do to help build up strong hips. And that's it. We're ready to move on to the leg. You got this? You got this. Let's go. Hold on to something for balance. In, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 1. Ooh, my hip just made crazy sounds. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 2. I'm trying to do this a little too sharply, too aggressively. It's throwing me off balance. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. 3, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 4. If you've been doing this for a while, I want you to try your best to keep the angle of your upper body, to keep the angle of your hips the same as much as possible while you move this leg in this crazy range of motion. All right. That will really help you to focus on the hip and all the muscles that we want to be training and not just have you squirming all over the place. Because squirming all over the place does not actually help you use your muscles more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Whew, we're done. Those are our hip curls. I felt like it went really fast. It's probably a good sign because we're going to move on into warm-up exercise number 2. What we're going to do next is called elephant walks. What I want you to do is fold at the hips, bring your belly button down towards the ground till you feel your hamstrings kicking in going wee. When you're feeling your hamstrings, I want you to focus on bringing your belly button down a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. All right? Once you have dropped your belly button down a little bit more, we're going to be ready to start some moving. I want you to bend one knee, and I want you to straighten out the other leg. I want you to switch back and forth. I know I just said a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Your version does not have to look like mine. All right? It's just wherever a little bit more means for you. Keep switching back and forth. Oh, there is not an exact number that we're trying to hit here because I'm gonna tell you about the rest of the show, and whenever I'm done with that, we'll be ready to move on. All right, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. This right here is hip mobility, and you know what side splits are? That's just advanced hip mobility. So we do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to make the suffering that we're putting ourselves through a little bit more fun. So it's easier to stay consistent so that we can all make some progress together. If you like the life so far, you like the vibes, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe. If you're undecided, you should still hit follow and hit subscribe, but you have some time to decide later. All right? We're ready to move on. I want you to fold your belly button down a little bit deeper, if you can. Fold a little bit more, and a little bit more. And we're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our elephant walk. Pop into a little bit of a squat. Push off your legs if you need to. Come back into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. We're going to jump into warm-up exercise number 3. It is very similar looking for the first half. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold forward. We're going to take the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off that shin bone, not the ankle, not the knee, the shin bone. And we're going to help ourselves to rotate that spine. We're going to stick our arm up into the air. Your arm might be like somewhere between here and here, and that's okay. Inhale. Look at the hand. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. The first rep might feel really difficult, might feel really hard, but I want you to exhale. Let the air out of your lungs, rotate a little bit more, and try to get a little deeper into your stretch. All right, let's do the other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. What am I saying? All your weight is in one leg. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. This arm reaching across, pushing off that leg to help you open up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Reach up your shoulder. Get that spine rotating in. Oh, come on back. That is one rep. We're going to do 5 of these. You ready? Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. Ooh, I got a whole bunch of cracks in the back. Again, other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. We do the exhale very intentionally because when you let air out of your lungs, exhale, reach. When you let air out of your lungs, it's like letting pressure out of a can of soda. Inhale. Exhale, reach. When you're holding your breath, it's like sealing up that can. When you let the air out, it's like you crack the can and all of a sudden you can crush it with your hands, right? We don't actually want to crush our ribs and stuff. We just want to be able to twist and rotate a little bit more. Cool? I think that was 3. We got 2 more. Let's go. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 4. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. Last one. Let's wrap this up. Inhale. Look at the hand. Exhale, reach. That's 5. And inhale. Exhale, reach. And 5. Whew. Come on up. Take your time. If your spine is feeling a little crazy right now because it's never been so stretched out before, take extra gentle care. Slowly come out of it. Stand up straight. Flex your glutes. Flex your abs. Do a little wiggle. Do a little dance. And hopefully you're feeling nice and loose. Whew, if you've been doing this for a while, you're regular. Feel free to turn on the dance moves. Enjoy that spine mobility. And let's get ready to move on into our 4th and final warm-up exercise. We're doing some Cossack switches. Whew, a lot of cat food over here. Oh no, the kitty litter is upstairs, but the cat food has replaced it. So I guess the cat food will be how we do our side splits later. Anyways, we don't have to get into that right now. Let's get into the Cossack switches. What we're going to do is open up our legs a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy wide, but a little bit wide is probably going to help you. From here, we're going to drop down onto one side. We're going to try and get into a deep squat on one leg. If you're new to this might be as deep as you get, and that's perfectly fine. It's okay. All right. If you're a little bit more mobile, you're a little bit more flexible, maybe you can get a little bit deeper. And if you can, great. Wherever you are, our next step is to get our butt that way, to get to the other side, to mirror it. If you can do it without your hands, great. Just do that. But if you need a little bit of help, you might want to put your hands down, help bring your weight over. If you're a little bit higher up, you can't reach the ground, maybe you want to use a coffee table, you want to use an ottoman, use something to help you bring yourself over. Whatever it is that you're using, we're doing 10 reps of these. I'm going to teach you other variations as we go, and you can add them in. If it's too hard, take them back out. Cool? All right. We're going to count that first one as 1. We got 9 more. Come on over to one side. Sink into it. Drop as low as you can get. When you get to the other side and you're like, how do I drop? I want you to inhale. Then I want you to exhale. On that exhale, I want you to imagine that you're deflating like a balloon with all the air getting let out. And I want you to see if you can sink a little deeper onto this squatting leg. All right? Come on back to the other side. If you realize you don't need to use your hands, feel free to not use your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Deflate. Sink a little deeper. Keep going. I think that was 2, maybe? Is this 3 now? 3. We're going to pretend this is 3. If you're ready for a little bit more intensity, one of the things that you can do is try to sit up a little bit straighter. Lift your chest up, stick your arms out in front of you to counterbalance, and keep going from side to side. I think this is 4 and 5. If your knees are feeling a little unhappy with you and you're like, woo, these are hard, you can change it up by coming up a little bit first, then coming across, and then dropping back down. All right, up, across, and down. That way you still get to stretch the nice intense position at the bottom, but your knees don't have to work as hard as you go from side to side. If you don't need these, feel free to go back to whatever you were doing. All right, I think it was 7. We got 8, 9, and 10. We got 3 reps. I haven't done this before, I think, but let's do 3 squats. All right. I want you to get into a nice strong position. I want you to inhale, exhale, and push your way out of this position into standing. All right. You ready? Inhale, exhale, push. Let's do it. Inhale, exhale, push. And that's 8. But only on this side. We gotta do 8 on the other leg. Come on down, nice and slow with control. Inhale, exhale. Sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, push. Exhale, push. And that's 8. I'm gonna think of a better way to say all those instructions while also using it as a command. Um, I'm gonna say it twice. The first one is instruction, the second time is a command. We're gonna do it. All right, cool. All right, let's do this. Inhale, exhale, relax, sink into that bottom position with control. And now we're gonna inhale, exhale, push. You ready? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, push. Woo! That's 9. Come on down on the other side, nice and slow with control. Inhale. Exhale, let the air out of your lungs. And we're going to inhale, exhale, push. You ready? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, push. Woo! That's 9. We got one last rep. Number 10. You ready for this? Come on down with control. Inhale, exhale, let the air out of your lungs. Squish real deep into that stretch. And inhale, exhale, push. Ready to go? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, push. And that's 10. Other side. Inhale, exhale, come down with control. Sink into that stretch. Inhale, exhale, push. You ready? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, push. And that is 10 reps. Whew. Man, that's a lot of talking. I feel like that really slowed it down. If you enjoyed it a little bit more slowed down, great. If you didn't, let me know in the chat. Whew. All right. I'm tired. That was our warm up. If you're also tired, then it's a good chance that your ankles, your knees, your hips, your lungs have gotten a little bit of love and you're ready now for our stretches. We got 5 stretches lined up. I'm gonna pop on down real quick to see what is going on in the chat. Menno is sending some support to Buddha. Buddha is usually just a little bit sarcastic, so if he sounds like he needs extra help, he knows the drill. He's been here like every day for forever. All right. Buddha says, "Ha! I cheated by sitting up on the wall for those Cossacks." Which good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you found a variation that works for you. All right. All right. Where are we going with this? What's next? We got stretches? We got 5 stretches. Let's do some stretches. The first thing I want you to do is do some hamstring stretches. And our variation, the one that we're going to do right now, requires you to have your knees on the ground. So I want you to go grab a little bit of cushioning, a little bit of padding, if you haven't already, to pad your knees. I got this yoga mat that I have folded in half for some extra cushioning. But if you have a couch cushion, a decorative pillow, you got some old flip-flops that you haven't worn in a while, you got some sneakers that are real soft and squishy, stick them under your knee, and we're ready to begin. All right, let's get ready with our hamstring stretch. What I want you to do is kneel up nice and straight and tall. Then extend one leg out in front while maintaining this nice and straight and tall. And then we want to take a big breath in. Slowly exhale and fold our upper body down towards the ground until our hamstrings are unhappy with us. You ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Whee! As soon as your hamstrings tell you, whoa, what are you doing? This is crazy. We're going to pause right there. And we're going to slowly breathe. All right? Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let gravity pull you deeper into your stretch. Just flop on over and let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 4. And final one. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. It's probably a good time to remind you that when we do the inhale, exhale, relax, I actually genuinely mean that you're just flopping over and letting gravity do all the work. All right. If your back is bent a little bit for this portion, that's okay because you're just chilling. All right. Later, I'm going to tell you to fold. I'm going to say inhale, exhale, fold. When I tell you to fold, I want you to actively bring your belly button down towards the ground. I want you to try to push it down. It's going to be a little bit different from the relax. When we're relaxing, we're just chilling. We're like gravity pull us down. All right. And now we're going to do not that. We're going to do some movement. I want you to bring your knee up into a lunge into this 90-degree-ish looking position, and I want you to fold your chest down towards that leg the best that you can. If you can bring your knees to your chest, great. If you cannot, you're stuck a little bit higher, don't worry about it, just try your best. Stick your hands down on either side. This is for balance, and then I want you to scoot your butt back, straighten out that leg, and feel the hamstring tighten up again. From here, we're gonna do this 2 more times. All right, knee up, chest down, straighten out that leg. Keep on trying to get a little fold, feel that contraction, feel that stretch, knee up, chest down, straighten out that leg. Ooh, that's 3. Now, we're going to inhale, exhale, fold. I talked about this earlier. On the fold, I want you to actively try to bring your belly button down towards the ground. All right? It's not going to be easy. I just want you to try your best. How far you get is not important. What's important is how much you're trying. Okay? Inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to take a huge breath in on the inhale. We're going to slowly exhale. And while we're exhaling, we're going to try our best to fold our belly buttons down. When you run out of air on that exhale, you can just go back to breathing like normal. We're going to inhale, exhale, relax, and just chill and let gravity do the work. All right? You ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Belly button down. Woo. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let gravity pull you into the ground. Chill. 4 more of these. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 4. Another. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 5. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. We're just repeating what we were doing before. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 3. We got one last round of repeats, and then we'll be done with this leg. All right? Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, relax. Knee bendy stuff, and then we're gonna chill for 30 seconds. That's all that's left for this workout, or I mean, for this stretch, for this leg. You ready? Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do it. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, fold, fold. Belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let gravity pull you down a little deeper into your stretch. My stretch might look a little crazy to you right now. Please remember that we are just trying our best. The instructions stay the same no matter what level of flexibility you got. All right, inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 4. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 5. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Last one. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 3. And now we're hanging out for 30 seconds. So we'll be done with this leg. All right? 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. If you've been doing this for a while, I recommend you try straightening out your back a little bit. It might feel like you're coming further away from your leg, but I want you to focus on straightening out the back. That will make gravity feel way more intense and help you fold forward a little bit deeper. All right? Probably should have kept counting because I've lost my count. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Take a second, catch your breath, chill, relax, and come back up into some sort of kneeling, more chill position. All right? What we just did was stretch out our low back, our glutes, maybe even a little bit. And it might have been really stretched out for a really long time. So we're going to wake up those muscles with some contractions. I want you to bring your knees back so that you're back into kneeling. And I want you to clench your glutes like somebody's about to spank you really hard. All right? And you want to protect your butt. You ready? Protect your butt! Oh, flex those glutes really hard. Now, you want to get the abs to do the same. Imagine somebody's about to give you a punch in the stomach. Go, and you brace your core for a punch. Your glutes are flexed, your abs are flexed, and the big stabilizing muscles in your body, hopefully, are a little bit more awake now. All right? It's time for us to switch over to the other leg. Let's go ahead and get into it. Other leg in front, rest of your body straight and upright, and we're gonna get ready to fold. You ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. Whee! Oh, as soon as your hamstrings tell you no, not again. Feel free to pause and relax. Inhale, exhale, relax. 5 times. Ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let gravity pull you into the floor. And let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 4. One more. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 5. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten out that leg. Ooh, knee up. Chest down. Straighten out that leg. That's 2. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten out that leg. That's 3. It's time for us to fold a little bit deeper. You ready? Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Slowly exhale. Fold as deep as you can. Bring your belly button down towards the ground. We're actually going to do it now. All right? Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, fold, fold. And inhale. Exhale, relax. Let gravity pull you down. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. Let gravity pull you down again. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 4. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 5. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 1. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. I did number 1 real fast. But take your time with that hamstring stretch when we straighten out the leg. That's 3. We got one last fold, and then the whole rest of the spiel again. You ready? Big breath in. Slowly exhale. Fold. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold. Woo. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let gravity pull you deeper into the floor. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper if you can. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3. If it feels like you've been breathing too hard, too fast, too much, you're hyperventilating, slow down. That was your opportunity to slow down. Let's go for 4. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 4. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 5. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. Ooh, feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Last one. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 3. We're hanging out for 30 seconds. If you're a regular at this point, I want you to try to straighten out your back as best as you can. If you're brand new to the show, just flop and let gravity pull you down as much as you want. All right? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. 18. If you're struggling to straighten out your back, by the way, a quick little tip is try to look up and in front of you. Typically, your spine will follow your head, and that will help you straighten it out just a little bit. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Whew. That felt like a lot. That was because it was definitely a lot. Bring your knees up in front of you. Scoot your legs back in underneath you. Whew. Flex your glutes, flex your abs. Pretending like you're getting spanked. Pretending like you're getting punched in. Whew. Oh, let's get ready for a second stretch. All right? Second stretch. What we're going to do is called the butterfly pose, butterfly stretch, or Taylor's pose. And it looks a little bit like this. I want you to move your butt up to a wall, your low back, your shoulders, your head up against the wall. So you got a nice flat surface to lean against. This is really important. Don't skip it. Next, I want you to bring your feet together, and I want you to pull them in towards your groin. If you're not very flexible in this position, it's very uncomfortable for you. You might not even be able to get your legs into this sort of angle. And if that is you, you might want to sit on something a little bit higher, elevate your butt. And I just happen to have something, so I'll demonstrate real quick. If you, I'm trying too fast. If you elevate your butt a little bit, it'll make this position a little easier to handle. And you can start from here. All right. Whew. If you're a super pro and you are really flexible here, you can do the opposite. You can elevate your butt just a little bit so that your legs can open further instead of get more comfortable because your butt is up. All right, that sentence would be confusing. I'll demonstrate it next time. Let's get into this stretch. The goal here is to stretch out your inner thighs. It is very important for our side splits. It is very important for, in general, our hip mobility because it's a big part of hip mobility. What I want you to do right now is try to bring your knees down into the ground. That is how you're going to feel this stretch. You're going to feel it real soon as we do this next step. I want you to take your hands. I want you to apply a little pressure just inside of your knee a little bit. I want you to try and push straight down into the ground while having your whole back up against the wall. When you push down, you're going to feel some pressure in the back of your head and your shoulders pushing into the wall. That is okay. That is normal because when you're pushing down, your hands are pushing down, your shoulders are basically pushing back, and that's okay. All right. For the next 6 breaths, about 30-ish seconds, 40-ish seconds, we're going to take a huge breath into our lungs. We're going to slowly exhale. We're going to push our legs down a little deeper into the ground. Every single time you inhale, I don't want you to move. Just hold there, chill. On the exhale, when you're breathing out, I want you to see if you can apply a little bit more force. You can push a little bit deeper with your legs. If you're feeling a sharp, intense sensation, you can stop. If it's just discomfort because you're stretching, keep going. All right, let's go. Inhale. Slowly exhale and push. Woo. Again, inhale. Exhale and push. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale and push. 3. 3 more. We're halfway. Inhale. Exhale and push. That's 4. Inhale. Exhale and push. That's 5. Last one. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale and push. That is 6. Relax. Let your hands slide off of your legs. Let the legs come up if they need to. Do a little wiggle with your wrists, a little wiggle with your arms. Flap the wings of your butterfly, of your legs. Let those muscles start to wake up just a little bit so that we can get into our third stretch. Once your wrists, your legs are working, it's time for us to move on. So let's get to it. We're going to move on into our third stretch. It is called the pancake stretch. I'm going to get rid of that real quick, and we'll be ready to begin. The goal of the pancake is to bring your upper body in between your legs. As much as you can, as flat as you can, and as wide as you can with your legs at the same time. For most of us, you just got to pick one thing and get started, all right? You don't have to combine all the pieces all at once. So if you bring your legs just slightly wider and you start folding forward, that will be a great place to start. For most of us, especially if you're brand new to this show, you're probably going to be stuck somewhere between like here and here. And this is why we're doing this stretch standing. When you're standing, gravity is going to help to pull this part, your upper body, down into the ground. If you're roughly between like this angle and this angle. And that's what we want because the stretch is really hard. We want as much help from gravity as we can possibly get. So here we are. To get a little bit more help from gravity, you can stick your arms out in front of you like this so that your biceps are by your ears. And next time you inhale, exhale, and try to sink a little bit deeper into your stretch, you'll start really feeling gravity helping you out. All right? That's the basics of the stretch. To get a little bit more intense, you can try to open up your legs a little wider if you want. That is optional, 100%. If your balance is not so good, you can try to sit on something and eliminate the balance situation. If you sit on something really low, you'll have to fold much more forward to get closer to horizontal. If you sit on something a little bit higher, you don't need to fold as much, right? how much you need to elevate your butt by, and that is up to you. But if you're sitting on something a little wobbly, I recommend you move it up to the wall and have your back to the wall so that whatever you're sitting on can't slide out from underneath you. Cool? All right. I'm ready seated, so I'm going to do this one seated. Fold forward. Hands up. Ears tucked into your biceps. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. My butt is about to slip off this cat food. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Because my butt is about to slip off the cat food, I can't relax into the stretch at all, so I'm going to adjust. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Put your hands down. Bring your legs in. If your legs are super wide, you might want to wiggle your toes in, your heels in, your toes in, your heels in, until your legs are back together and you're back into something that resembles standing. When your legs are underneath you, we're ready to move on into stretch number 4. I am pretty sure we did the figure 4 2 days ago, so it's time for some pigeon. You ready? Let's get some pigeon done. I'm going to show you some basic stuff real quick. You don't have to do this part, and then we'll do it together. All right? The figure 4 and the pigeon, both stretches, have the same fundamentals. We're taking one leg, we're crossing over to the other side, we're grabbing that leg, we're bringing it up to our belly buttons, and once you bring your leg up to here, we're going to fold our upper body down to that leg. You should be feeling some tension here in the side of your hip. This is a glute muscle. You might feel a little bit in your hamstrings, you might feel a little bit here where you're actually doing the folding. That is all completely normal. Now, we're going to take this position. We're going to try and bring it down to the ground for the pigeon. Okay? Sit on down, bring this leg across, and you might notice, what are you trying to do with this other leg? Because it's not standing anymore. You have some options. You can keep it slightly bent off to the side, and you can still focus on bringing your chest down to that leg. You can sort of stick it out to the side and still do the same. But if you've done some yoga, you've done some other activities, or you've heard of the pigeon, you might know there is a version where you extend the leg back behind you. If your flexibility is not so good, you're going to feel a whole bunch of pressure right here in the hip. You're going to feel a whole bunch of pressure on your knee, and it might not be so comfortable. Something you can try to make it a little bit more comfortable, make it a little bit more useful, is to elevate your front leg. When you elevate the front leg, the hips pop up just a little bit, and then the knees have way more room to not smash into the ground, so you get a little bit more comfortable of a stretch, and you can still do all that forward folding while getting a little bit more comfort out of that back leg. All right? That is all the options that you need to know in order to get the pigeon done. So, let's talk about the actual folding forward thing. I want this leg across your body. And then I want you to find the midpoint between your knee and your ankle. For me, it's about somewhere right here. Then I want you to take the middle line between your eyes, down your nose, in between your chest muscles, down to your belly button, that line right here. I want you to sort of match the two together when you fold forward. All right? Fold, 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 fold. Boom! That is the stretch. We're going to exhale. We're going to try and let all the air out of our lungs as we compress, as we fold forward. And we're going to hold this position for about 30 seconds, and then we'll be done. You ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. 30, 29, 28. As you breathe, exhale, sink a little deeper into the stretch. 23, 22, 21. If you want, you can have the leg extended backwards behind you, to the side, bent, wherever it is that you want. Most of the time when we're folding forward like this, it's really only going to impact the leg in the front. And you're going to feel in the glute, you're going to feel in the hamstrings. So it's not that important which one you choose. 10, 9, 8. But if we were doing reps, if we were going pigeon and down and pigeon and down and all that, then the back leg becomes a little bit more useful. But for now, since you're leaning so far forward, it's not that important. All right? That was about 30 seconds. Let's switch over to the other side. Other leg coming across, middle point, middle line. You might notice that I'm leaning way further this way. I have way less flexibility on this side than the other side. And you might notice the same thing about you, or maybe the other side was a little bit more flexible or a little less flexible. Whatever. Get ready to fold. Stick the leg back if you want to. Again, optional. And let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale, unfold. Woo! 30, 29, 28, 27. If this stretch feels too easy for you, there are a couple of things you can do to make it harder. You can push your heel away from your groin. You can push it towards your face, and all of a sudden your hamstrings will hate you. 23, 22, 21, 20. Sink into the floor. Exhale. 16, 15, 14. If you're a regular, see if you can straighten out your spine, and it'll be the same as when we stick our arms out in front of us for the pancake. All of a sudden, the leverage will feel crazier on your glutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon stretch. Whew, that's 4 of the 5. I'm gonna take a second and crawl a little closer to the devices. I feel like I'm gonna take a look at the chat. I saw some big long messages come through. Jax is over on YouTube saying hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for sending emojis. I feel like I just saw a long message. Oh, Madiat is back saying good morning, Ken, from Turkey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, that's all I'm seeing for the moment. So let's continue. Kent says here it's 5:40 in Mauritius. Very nice exercises. Welcome, welcome, welcome from Mauritius. Okay, we're gonna get into our fifth and final set of exercises. Stretches, stretches. This is a side splits and hip mobility show. So far, we've done a whole bunch of hip mobility, and we've done it in the warm up, we've done it in our stretches. Now it's time for us to do our side splits, right? Side splits and hip mobility. We've done a lot of hip mobility. Side splits are just advanced hip mobility. We're combining a whole bunch of the stretches that we did all into one super stretch, and that's why side splits comes all the way at the end. What you've been doing so far has been preparing you for this moment of the show. What you don't know yet is we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits, and I'm going to break it down into lots of little steps that you can try. If anything feels crazy, you can always stop wherever you're at and take a pause. All right? Before we jump into it, I want you to hit follow, hit subscribe if you like the show so far. Big Mama D asks, "Do you do this show in the AM?" I do not do this show in the AM. I have a day job. This is my my non-day job. All right. We're gonna grab some hand support before we begin with our side splits. The purpose of the hand support is to let you do this: hands down, legs wide. And what we are doing right now is prepare ourselves for a side split. Our hands are carrying some of our body weight. Our shoulders are carrying some of our body weight, so it's not all in our legs, so that your legs don't get nearly as tired, nearly as fast, and we can focus on the stretch. Cool? All right. Your hand support does not have to be a 40-can pack of cat food. Your hand support can be a small stool. It can be a small chair. It could be yoga blocks. It could be a folding stool. All right. As long as it is durable enough to hold your weight and it is light enough for you to move out of the way when you don't want it to be there, it will work. And I've been using kitty litter the last couple of days, but today we got 40 cans of cat food. And it's time for us to begin. All right, take your hand support, whatever it might be, bring it up to the wall with you, and put it in between your legs. Next, we're going to scoot our butts onto the wall. We're going to open up our legs a little bit, and we're going to fold forward and put our hands down on our hand support. When you are here, I want you to let your legs go a little bit wider. Let your butt slide down the wall, and I want you to rotate the legs. All right? When we rotate the legs, we're going from this position where the toes are pointing forward and the knees are pointing forward. We're going to rotate, boom, until the knees are pointing up and away, the toes are pointing up and away. Your inner thighs are now pointing forward. Keep your hands on your hand support while you do these because your heels are going to suddenly be really, really painful because they're carrying a lot more weight. Share some of that burden with your hand support. That's what it's for. All right? Let your legs go a little bit wider, as wide as is comfortable for you. Your version does not have to look like mine. Remember, I'm just telling you instructions that will work for everybody. We're letting the legs go wider, whatever that means for you. Adjust your hand support so that your legs are just behind your hand support. and your legs are sort of pinched between the wall and the hand support. That way, your legs can only go wide and your hips can only go straight down into the ground for the most part. All right? I want you to find a position where you feel like you're in control. Not because this is an easy position to be in, but because you don't feel like you're off balance. You don't feel like you're about to slip. You don't feel like you're tensing a whole bunch of muscles unnecessarily. All right? From here, we're going to breathe. We're going to take it nice and slow. We're going to try and calm down our nervous system and see if we can get a little bit more of a stretch out of it. You ready? Inhale. Hold that breath. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if you can drop a little deeper into your stretch. If you don't drop this time around, don't worry about it. Just do it again. All right. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's two. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3 times. Optional little wiggle. See if you can push your heel out to the right a little bit, left a little bit, right a little bit, left a little bit, so you can get just a tiny bit deeper. Right now, your butt is resting against the wall. You're leaning forward with your hands over the hand support, trying desperately to stay in control. And we're ready for side split number 1. I'm going to slide this out of the way so you can see what the legs are doing. The toes are pointing up, the knees are pointing up, the heels are down. And the top of our head is more or less pointing up as well. This is side split number 1. Just hang out here for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. If you feel like it, try to do a little wiggle again. See if you can inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our first stretch. Move your hand support out of the way if it's in your way. If it's not, crawl your hands forward a little bit. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our first side split. That is 1 of 3. We got 2 more. Before we jump into the next one, I want you to shake out all the tension or as much of it out of your legs as possible. So come back into standing when you can, and let's hold on to the wall for balance while we shake out our legs. I want you to start by focusing on your ankles. Take a look at your ankles as you flop them around, shake them, send them flying wherever you want, and go forward and backwards, side to side, maybe try some circles. All right? The goal of all this movement is to just make sure that your leg muscles are flopping around, they're starting to relax, and you can visually see that they are flopping around, they are relaxing, because that's what we want, reducing the tension. All right? Other leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, and whew, hopefully your legs are feeling a little bit looser. Take a couple of steps, do a dance move. Use the legs, make sure they're functional, and then we're going to move on into our hips. I want you to put all your weight into one leg, big toe of the other leg down. I want you to point this knee out directly to the side. And I want you to use your hip muscles, your thigh muscles, to bring the knee all the way in and all the way out. We're swiveling here at the hips. All right. This is rotation, and we're doing in and out and 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 in and out. If you're new to this, focus on getting that range of motion, getting that control. And if you're a regular, you've been doing this for a while, you can just go a little faster. In and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Couple of slow ones with control and a couple of quick ones for relaxation. And we're ready to move on into side split number 2 after one last quick shake. Shake out the whole body. Relax. Whee! Flop around. Whew. Hopefully you're feeling a little looser. Let's get into side split number 2. We're going to go a little faster because you already know what's going to happen because we just did side split number 1. All right? But up against the wall, hand support in front of you. Let the legs go a little bit wider. Hands on your hand support. And from here, we're letting the legs go just a little bit wider. We're rotating the legs so that the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. The heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. And we are letting our legs go wide. I want your hands on your hand support. I want you to be leaning forwards so that your weight is centered over your hand support. And I want you to drop a little bit deeper into your stretch. Let's breathe. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. That's 3. Optional wiggles to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. If you're not going anywhere, don't worry about it. It's time for side split number 2. This time around, I want you to lean forward. I want you to feel the stretch here in the inner thighs. And the way we're going to do that is sort of just shift everything forward. Our toes, our knees are kind of pointing at a diagonal at around 45-ish degrees. Our inner thighs are facing the ground. Our hands are in a push-up looking position. When you're here, we're ready to go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your knees in underneath you. And that is our second side split. Whew. Take this slowly with control. Don't rush it. I know you're tired. You want to get out of that position. But the more you rush it, the more you urgently need to move, the more likely you are to hurt yourself. All right? We're trying to take it chill. We're trying to take it slow with control so that you're not jerking and doing crazy things. Cool? All right. Hopefully, you've taken a second to catch your breath. Hopefully, you're just resting now. And we're ready to take a step forward and shake out our legs again. Let's go. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake some more. Wiggle some more. Flop some more. I'm going to shake myself over to the chat and see if anything else is going on. Sassy. Lol, that's amazing. I don't know what I said, but I hope it's entertaining. All right, keep going. Shake out the other leg. Flop around, wiggle. The goal of this is to make sure that you're relaxed, right? We start with the ankles because it's real easy to see when your ankles are flopping sort of all over the place. When you start really enjoying the idea of shaking out the tension in your body and you start wiggling a whole bunch, it's good for you. You don't need to be storing unnecessary tension. You want to have tension when you need tension. You want to be relaxed when you're trying to relax. So this is just a very, very, very basic version of the skill with one very specific body part. Well, you shake out your legs. We're gonna move on into our hips. After you take a couple of steps, do a little dance. Wiggle, pop those hips, make sure your legs are working, and let's go. All of your weight is in one leg, big toe is down, knee in and out, and in and out, and in and out. This is probably a good time to remind you that all of the movement is happening where this thigh bone is meeting the hips. All right. Everything else that's moving, that is just for show, to make it a little bit more fun, make it more dancey, make it entertaining, so that's easier to do, easier for you to want to do. And we should probably switch over to the side. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down, knee in and out, and 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 in and out. All right, shake out your legs, do a little wiggle, do a little flop. I want you to be the air thingy at the car salesmanship dealership, whatever's that goes. Ooh, that's what I want your body to look like, floppy and loose. All right, ready for side split number 3? Let's do it. You don't have a choice. So, hand support in front of you, butt up against the wall. Pull that hand support in front of you. Let the legs go a little bit wider. Fold. Put your hands down on your hand support. From here, let the legs go just a bit wider. And let's rotate the legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Inner thighs are pointing forward. Heels down, toes are up, knees are up. Inner thighs are pointing forward. Let your butt slide down the wall. Your hand support is here to keep you from slipping. The butt support, the wall, is there to keep you from falling backwards. So pinch yourself in between and let your hips drop straight down the best that you can. All right? From here, find a nice spot. where you feel like you're in control, where you're not about to slip, you're not about to lose balance, you're not about to fall over, you feel like you're in control. And let's breathe. Inhale. Hold that breath. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Two more times. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Optional wiggles to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. And when you can't go any further, it's time for side split number 3. We got options. Side split number 1. Toes up, knees up, hamstrings are down, head is mostly up, and you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings. All right. We got option number 2, which is what we just did, where we leaned forward a little bit and we focused the stretch on the inner thighs. I'm going to do a variation of side split number 2, where I'm using my muscles to hold myself up instead of relying on my hands to help. And we're going to do it for 40 seconds. If you need to stop, feel free to stop. Let's go. 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, almost done, 6. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hands down. Oof, 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 oof. Take your time. Breathe. Again, we've been practicing staying in control, taking it nice and slow, not rushing, not jerking through any movements because we don't want you to do anything crazy while your muscles are going crazy. All right? Whew. Breathe, chill, relax, shout, grunt, make as many crazy noises as you need to in order to relieve yourself of whatever feelings you got right now about the stretch. All right, this sucks. Whatever sounds you gotta make. That was a third and final side split. We're ready to come on out. Come on up. Step on up and let's shake it out. Shakety shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Especially if you were doing the version where you're trying to hold up your own body weight using your legs, inner thigh muscles to hold that position. Your legs are going to be real tired. There's going to be a whole bunch of tension. And what we want to be extra serious about is shaking out that tension, relaxing, flopping around, and getting loose. Whew. Keep shaking. We've already done 3 rounds of this, so I'm sure you know the drill. We're flopping, we're shaking, we're wiggling. I want you to be a soggy, overcooked noodle pouring down the drain, just going out the pot, down the drain, and goodbye. Actually, don't leave yet. We got a little bit more. Now that we have shaken out our legs, we have to work on our hips. All your weight is on one leg. Big toe is down, knee in, knee out, and in and 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 out. Whew, that's probably fine. Other leg in and out, and 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 in and out. Whew. Remember, all of that movement comes from where the thigh bone meets into your hips, and all of that rotation is coming from some muscles here in the front, a couple muscles here in the back, and everything else that I do, that's just for fun to make it look a little bit more funny. All right. Now that we have covered those 2 things, we're ready to move on. We're gonna do a couple of quick joint checks, and we're gonna wrap up. All right. We got 2 joint checks. One is hip circles. All I want you to do is pop that hip out. Do a little Shakira, boom, send the hip out that way. Feel the stretch in the left side or the right side of your butt, depending on how this video is mirrored. We're on whichever device you're watching from. Lean back or scoot the butt back. Feel it a little in your hamstrings as you come around to the other side. Pop that hip out. Ooh. Feel it in the side of your butt. Feel it in the side of your hip. And then transition, push those hips forward. Oh, feel the stretch right here in the front in your hip flexors. And keep on going. If there is a chunk of your hip that's feeling like it needs some extra time, needs some extra attention, feel free to just jump into that position, hang out there for a little bit, maybe squeeze, poke, massage to help that muscle relax, and take your time. All right. If you're hanging out somewhere, feel free to keep hanging out. If you're otherwise ready to move on, go the other direction. Keep going. That's two. And three. Whew. Hopefully your hips are feeling a little bit looser and we're ready to move on into our final move. We're doing some crazy calf raises. All right. Our calf raises are going to challenge basically our whole entire lower body all at the same time. And that is why they're really hard. And this is why it's called a joint check, because it's going to help us check all of them at the same time. Legs, I want them about hips width. All right. You can be a little bit wider if you want, but in general, I want about hips width. Not crazy wide, not super narrow, about hips width. Cool? From here, we're going to pop into a bit of a squat. In this squat, I want you to lean really far forward, and I want you to push your knees forward too, so that you feel like you're about to fall forward onto your face. When you're in this position where it feels like you're going to go super far forward, your toes should be gripping the ground, holding you stable. That is what we want. The arch of your foot should also be kicking in to help keep your foot stable so that your feet stay strong and you don't topple over onto your face. All right? From here, with your knees pushed forward as far forward as you can, you're going to feel a stretch here in your Achilles tendon, in your calves. You can poke them to double check they're nice and firm. And we're going to do some calf raises from here. Hold on to something for balance. It might be a wall. It might be the hand support you were using earlier. And let's do some calf raises. Lift those heels up as high as you can. Feel that contraction. Come on down. Reset. Push the knees forward. Push the chest forward. Make sure your toes are working. Come on up and down. That's two. Keep going. Up and down. That's three. Up and down. That's four. Up and down. That's five. Up and down. That's six. Up and down. That's seven. Up and down. That's eight. Up and down. That's nine. At some point, you'll have moved out of that position I started you off in. Push those knees back forward. Push the chest forward. Make sure your toes are working, trying to keep you balanced and up and down and up and down. At some point, you'll really want to stop, and you can feel free to stop. All right. What we just did was challenge our toes to work real hard, challenge our feet to work real hard, put our calf raises into the maximum range of motion we could possibly get because they were stretched out, and then we raised them, right? We had our quads firing because we were holding that sorority squat position. We had our low back firing because we were holding that sorority squat position. And our hips, our knees, our ankles, our feet, they were working real hard together. So if you were able to do like 75, 80% of that movement, chances are you're probably pretty good to go. Do whatever else you gotta do for the rest of the day because your joints are probably working okay. Cool. That is our live. Kenji says, wee. Yeah, me too. Wee. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility today. We are ready to wrap. Book says, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Book. Cat G, welcome back, welcome back. I'm going to take a quick look at the chat, and this is probably a good time to remind you before I do that. Now, we do the show every single day, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started about an hour and 4 minutes ago. And we do this every day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of routine, and hopefully help all of us make a little bit of progress together. All right? If you like the show so far, you like the vibes, you like how helpful and happy and positive everybody is in the chat, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. I make a bunch of other content. Most of it is trying to make you see everything as a potential opportunity to get a little bit of exercise. If you're waiting for coffee to come out the machine, microwave to heat up some food, that is all time, 1 minute, 2 minutes, where you can do something from our show. You probably held some of these stretches for 45 seconds and you're like, what the heck is happening? Are we done yet? And if you try a little bit of those in your free time when you got a moment, they might help you get a little bit more mobile, help you gain a little bit of strength, and help you feel just in general a little bit better. If that sounds like fun, you should definitely hit follow, definitely hit subscribe so you can see more content from me. Cool? Because your other guy is gonna doom scroll anyway, so now you might doom scroll into my content, and then maybe you'll get some exercise. Cool. Let's see. Julie says, what's the time now? Want to know the time as in SG. SG is probably Singapore. I don't know what time it is in Singapore right now, but it is currently 9:05, no, sorry, 10:05 p.m. Eastern time. in New York, and it's currently 7:05 p.m. in California. And I imagine it's really early for you in the morning in Singapore. I have a friend in Hong Kong who is, what time would it be for him right now? It would be 10 a.m. for him. So it's probably somewhere between 8 and 10 for you. Oh, Singapore and Hong Kong are in the same time zone? That's crazy. That's a really far distance. Okay, well, now you know. It's 10 a.m. in Singapore, which means the show starts at 9 a.m. every single day. Cool? Cool. Queen R says it's 10 a.m. in Singapore over on YouTube. Thank you for the help, Queen R. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, if there's a username you don't know that you're not seeing, it's because I run two lives at the same time. This phone right here is TikTok. This phone right here is YouTube. And everything is recorded. So if you want to watch an old video, you can go over to YouTube and it will be there. I don't post the replays on TikTok because it's a lot of replays. Cool. All right. Let's see. Julie says it's Friday, August 28th, 10 a.m. in Singapore. Yes, that makes sense. Cool. All right. Let's take a look at the rest of the chat. Over on YouTube, Lois is in here saying hello. Queen R says hello. Jax is sending lots of supportive emojis. Thank you. Pam says doof or duff. Queen R says my splits are definitely not that deep. Hey, that's okay. Lois says I'm in the Philippines. Oh, no way. What time is in the Philippines? Is it like 11 a.m.? Are you an hour? Actually, the Philippines are like that's a lot of islands. Is that all in the same time zone? I have no idea. You guys, yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah. I wonder if Indonesia is across a bunch of time zones, or if everybody in Indonesia is all in the same time zone. Because Indonesia is really wide chain of islands, right? How is it possible everybody's in 10 a.m.? That doesn't seem. It seems like one ginormous time zone. Okay. Anyways, welcome everybody who's experiencing the show at 10 a.m. There's a lot of you, apparently. Okay, let's see. What else we got in the chat? I'm scrolling up, I'm scrolling up, I'm scrolling up, I'm scrolling up. Cat says, Phew. Welcome, welcome. Joey says, ouch. Yatarati says, my feet keep turning in. All right, let's see where that is coming in and see if I can get you some tips. My feet keeps turning in. If this is in the side splits, because it looks like everybody is talking about the side split. If your feet are, sorry, let me move the chair out of the way. The chair is my arm support when I'm super close to the camera. If your feet are turning in during your side split, that's not necessarily that bad. Depends how far in they're turning and if your leg is coming out of alignment and you're putting a lot of pressure on your knees. But if you're just turning in a little bit, it's not the end of the world. It generally would be kind of strange if your legs were turned in if you're just standing normally. But if your legs are normal in your normal walking range of motion, if they're slightly turned in when your legs are going wide, it's probably not the end of the world. If they're still really, really far turned in and your knees are almost pointing downwards because of it, that might be something that we should address. Let me know in the chat or DM me, and we can talk about it a little bit more deeply. Cool? I'm trying to think if there's anything in particular I want to talk about right now. I would imagine that if your leg is, if your feet is turning in, it's probably something about your hips not rotating all the way. You might not be able to see, so I'll bring this a little closer. But this leg right here, with my feet flat on the ground and in this location, if I tilt my hips, I can get the knee to sort of point out at this angle, and I can get the knee to do all of that, right? I'm wondering if your toes are pointed in because you don't have the ability to rotate in the hip as much. And I just did a little bit of folding, so that wasn't exactly what I needed you to see. Ugh. Something like that. I don't think it's that much of a problem, but if something feels uncomfortable, something feels painful, let me know. All right. G says, whenever you do side split two with your hands on your hips, I'm blown away by how strong you are. Dude, I do this show every single day, and it's been going for like 600 days. Um, I would hope if I'm not getting deeper in my stretch, I'd get stronger in my stretch at least, right? So, um, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Um, Itai said, "Sassy, that's amazing." Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I thought somebody was saying that I was sassy, but I am just not reading the chat enough to understand the context. Gatarati says, "Did someone just move his thing? Stretching looks easy, but it's not. Excited for this. What moved? What moved? Is there a magic ghost? That would be really scary." Madiat says, "In Turkey, it is 4:43 in the morning." Geez, there are so many of you people on in the early AMs for wherever you're at. I didn't realize. On TikTok, it gives me stats at the end of the show, and I think it's something like 98% of people are in the US. So a bunch of you are in the 2%, which seems crazy. But thank you for being here. Matt Hernandez says, "What do you do if one leg won't go down? If one leg won't go down." Let me know what stretch you're talking about, Matt, if you're still on, and I will try my best to give you something more specific to help you with. Jennifer says, "I'm new. I love your class." Oh, welcome. Welcome. Starlene says, "Short clips for this, please." Are you saying that I should cut the lives into short clips and then just post them so that you can watch me stumble over my words because I'm doing this live and unpracticed? Carla says, "Love this. When will your next live be? I need mobility for my right hip impingement." This live runs every single day starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. So look forward to that. Do 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 do. I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling. Otherwise, it seems relatively quiet. Buddha is talking about using the wall for Cossack switches. Busy Little and Big Hand says, "I'll start tomorrow." This is great. Oh, okay. Awesome. I hope you're still on. If you are, welcome, and I'll see you tomorrow. When you come on, make sure to send a message so that I know that you're here so I can welcome you back because you said you were going to come back tomorrow. And if you're actually back tomorrow, then I'm going to welcome you back because it's not easy to start and I want to be encouraging. So come back. Let's see. What else we got? Buddha says, "Yes, more gentle mobility days." Buddha is looking for the gentle mobility. I love it. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Chase says hello. All right. That is all the old chat. Let's scroll all the way back down. Take one last look at what we got, and I will get ready to wrap. Itai says, "I'm wondering why I only feel the hamstrings in pigeon pose, but not feeling the glutes." Oh, okay. That's a great question. One thing you can try, well, actually, it depends. If you're super flexible and you can bring your chest all the way down to the floor over your thighs without feeling your glutes, you might just have super stretchy glutes. That's plausible. That's totally could be a thing. If you want to see if you can make your glutes feel a little bit more intense, you can try to experiment with a couple of different angles and see if there is a angle that you feel the glutes a little bit more. You're going to feel it more in your hamstrings if you push the leg out in front of you typically, and you might also feel it in your glutes more if you push the legs out in front of you. So if you're able to bring your chest really close to the floor, maybe you just have really, 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 really good glute flexibility and you just don't feel it anymore because you've passed that level. You're beyond it. So this is easy time for you. That could be it. But like I said earlier, there's lots of different angles you can hit the pigeon with that will change up where in the glute it's forcing the stretch. And if one of those work a little bit better, feel free to do that one. I generally start us out with finding that midpoint and that middle line, right? And then folding forward and down. That will hit most people pretty well, but you might be the exception. Cool. All right. What else we got? Badella is back. Says I missed it. Don't worry. It's okay. We do this live every day. You can just come back tomorrow. KK says, "No, I love the lives." Oh, that's good. Buddha says, "Thanks for the encouragement." Absolutely. Absolutely. We're just trying to send good vibes, support people who are working out and exercising and trying their best. If you don't encourage people who are doing the best, what is encouragement for? Right? Does that sentence make sense? Somebody would find an exception with whatever I say, so don't think about it too hard, okay? Where? I just lost the earbud. Sorry, that must have sounded awful. Uh, Evie says, great classes, Ken. Love your sessions. Etai says, got it. Thank you. Awesome. All right. I think that's it for me. It is 15 minutes into the next hour. We've been running for about 75-ish minutes, and I am ready to wrap. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency, working on your side splits, working on that hip mobility. I'll see you all real soon, aka tomorrow night. If you're brand new to the show and you're somehow still on, because there's like 50 of you on right now, we also have a 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific show that runs only on Saturday and Sunday mornings. It is very gentle. It's not the same show. It's gentle joint mobility. We start with like our hands and our wrists into our elbows, into our shoulders, and the whole show is about slowly moving your joints through as much range of motion as possible to help keep them feeling nice and lubricated so that they keep moving nice and smooth for, hopefully as long as possible. And we talk about what range of motion your joints should be able to hit if they're relatively regular. And if that sounds interesting, it's a very gentle way to wake up and start your day if you're in the right time zone for that. If you're like some of our regulars or like Julie and you're in Singapore, it'll be really late in the evening for you. So it might be a nice way to calm down before you go to bed. Cool. That is on Saturday and Sunday mornings here in the US, which means if you are in the other time zones, like Lois, like Julie, um, it will be your Saturday night and your Sunday night. No, that's not true. Sunday night, I don't know what I'm talking about. You're gonna have to fix this yourself. Saturday morning for me is Saturday night for you. Right? Okay, no, no, of course, of course. Si- 6 p.m. Saturday for you. Is that right? No, no, it would be 9 p.m. Saturday for you. 9 p.m. Saturday for you, and 9 p.m. Sunday for you for for our morning gentle joint mobility show. Why is time zone so hard? It's literally just adding a number, and I can't add. This is mind-boggling. Okay, anyways. Enough embarrassing my basic ability to do math. Let's wrap up the show for today. I'll see you guys all real soon. Bye bye. Closing.